Hello, I'm James Cridland, the radio futurologist, and every week or so I write a newsletter all about the future of radio and all of that, and this is it for March the 12th, 2023, AM radio to disappear from more cars. Because it turns out that the 2024 Ford Mustang won't have AM radio in it. The company says it will remove amplitude modulation, that's cute, from most new and updated models we bring to market. And it's notable that this isn't an electric vehicle, which is new, I think. So far, AM has only been removed from electric vehicles with some kind of spurious excuse that electric vehicles and AM don't work very well together, which I'm not entirely convinced is true. But anyway, the US Senator for Massachusetts, Ed Markey, is batting for AM radio and writing lots of excited letters to everybody. But the auto manufacturers are all just pointing out that they all have internet radio and HD radio in them, and so what's the point? There's also been a fascinating discussion, or a fascinating decision, I should say, from Bauer to remove Lynx FM's 3 FM frequencies in the UK. They're putting Greatest Hits Radio on there instead. Now, the curious thing is that Lynx, not on FM, what are they going to call it? Lynx FM, but not on FM. Anyway, it will continue on DAB. And their DAB coverage appears considerably larger than their FM coverage because they've got an additional transmitter in East Yorkshire. Hi, Hunsley, from memory. Anyway, it'll mean that rather more will be able to hear their station, but of course fewer will listen because just on DAB. So fascinating to see how all of that pans out and how long we give Lynx FM. In case you're wondering how big Lynx FM is, it's a pretty big station. It's the 14th most popular radio station in the UK. It has a 14.8% share. However, the 13th most popular radio station in the UK is Greatest Hits Radio Barnsley, which has 15.5% share. And that's essentially what Lynx FM on FM is going to become. So maybe Bauer's doing the right thing, who knows? For regulatory reasons, sandwiched between Ken Bruce and Simon Mayo on Greatest Hits Radio in Lincolnshire will be John Marshall. Now, John is also the mid-morning presenter on Lynx FM itself and has been at the radio station for 26 years. So, which will he do live? Is he going to do both shows live? Could Bauer not afford another presenter? Who knows how that all works? In other news, Sean Ross has listened to the Spotify AI DJ, which was announced a few years ago, and a few weeks ago, I should say. It sounds a little bit better than at first thought. The ABC in Australia is to join the Australian Podcast Ranker. Now, they did say that they were joining at launch in October 2019, but apparently this time they mean it, so that's nice. The NAB show in Las Vegas will have more than 1,000 exhibitors, they say, and that number is up 20% year on year. Although the show did have 1,600 in 2019 when I was there last, so there is some way to go. I will be there again this year. And I've also been talked into running 2 events in the UK, Pod News Live in June in Salford and Pod News Live in London on September the 27th. They are already available for tickets at a very low early bird price, and the idea there is an event built for networking and for sharing knowledge in the business of podcasting. It's still a difficult time for events, but I hope that we can make for a good event. You can grab your tickets for that at podnews.net/live. Later this month, I'm at Radio Days Europe in Prague, where I'm speaking at both the Podcast Summit and the Audio Data Summit on the Sunday. This recording is me basically putting off writing all of those keynotes. And then I'm speaking also in the event on Tuesday as well. And thank you to Richard Hilton, to James Masterton, and to Brunn Audio Consulting for your ongoing support of this newsletter. I'm very grateful to you. You can buy me a coffee too. buymeacoffee.com/James Cridland. You can become a member to give regularly if you like, or just give a one-off coffee. That's also absolutely fine. So apart from Radio Days Europe in Prague, and the NAB show in mid-April, I'm also off to Berlin for Spotify's event as well, which I still can't remember its name. So looking forward to that. The New Zealand Podcast Summit in mid-May, the podcast show in London at the end of May, and Radio Days in North America in early June. Gosh, I got a lot of time on planes. My contact details, james.cridland.net/contact if you're there in any one of those. I'm also on Mastodon. Just search for James at crid.land and you'll find me there. And my professional website has more details about who I am and what I do and whether I can help you further. That is at james.cridland.net. But until next time, keep listening.